Hello everyone, welcome back to the Stretford review. This is my review of Manchester United's 2-0 win over Sunderland at Old Trafford. We're back, guys. We are back. We're going to win it all. Number 21 is coming home. No, but in all seriousness, it was a very comfortable win yesterday. I'm recording this on the Sunday. Actually, our most comfortable game of the season so far. I mean, it's not that much of a surprise. Although in saying that, before this game, I was under the impression that we were definitely going to drop points this game. I think the feeling around the club, especially since the Brentford loss last weekend, has been so deflated. And it's felt inevitable that Amram is going to go, that we're going to either drop points in this game or scrape through. And still there is a terrible feeling around the club. Like, this win doesn't really change anything. It just takes a tiny ounce of pressure off Amram. But not enough pressure taken off him to the fact he can feel safe or secure in the job. It was still a massive win just because it's the international break. We have 2 weeks without any football. And if we went into this break having lost or drawn against Sunderland today, I think there's probably a high chance he could have either lost his job over the international break or lost his job the first game back, because the first game back is Liverpool at Anfield, massive game. The hardest game in the league for United is away at Liverpool, to be honest. So, but yeah, because this win doesn't mean that much, it was a comfortable win. There wasn't anything amazing about the game. There wasn't anything really terrible. This will probably be quite a short review of today's game. The big positive, two big positives from this game actually, was first Lemens in goal. He didn't do anything spectacular. He made a good save from Xhaka in the first half. Xhaka hit a long shot that went down to Lemens' left in the middle of the goal, and he pushed it out for a corner, which was nice. And in the second half, he also made a save you'd expect him to make. It was shot straight at him, but he still got it well clear. Something though that got probably the biggest cheer apart from the goals in the game was his claiming of crosses. He had 2 or 3 crosses that he really comfortably came out and claimed, which, again, we're kind of hyping the smallest thing, but when you've had Bayindir and Onana in goal, and even De Gea, because De Gea was not a comfortable cross claimer, and maybe Lemens isn't, like, we don't know yet, it's been 1 game, but he's showing promising signs, which I'm happy about. So that was a really big positive. Another big positive was Sesko scoring again. I didn't mention it in my Brentford review because I didn't want to even talk about that game properly, but the fact that Sesko finally got that first goal was very important against Brentford. It was probably the only positive of that entire game, and the fact he followed up again today with a goal, his first at Old Trafford, 2 games in a row scoring, is really good. Special shout out as well to Mason Mount. He's actually keeping Cunha out of the team right now. Although I thought Cunha was really sharp when he came on, he's still probably trying to get his fitness up from that hamstring injury against Burnley. But when he came on, he was carrying the ball well, he was confident, he was taking shots, he was making things happen. I think it's only a matter of time before Cunha settles in, but for right now, I'm really happy with how Mount is performing. I feel like Mount is the one player who, I'm not going to say solves the midfield problem, because I don't think anyone in our squad solves the midfield problem, but someone who makes us look a lot more balanced when he plays in that front 3, because he just drops in and helps out Fernandes and Casemiro that bit more. Now again, in the big games and against the really good teams, that won't be the case, but against teams like Sunderland, when they try and overload us in midfield, Mount does drop back and does help out, and that's something he definitely does better than Cunha. Cunha kind of likes to stay close to the goal, won't cover as much distance off the ball as Mount does, and won't be as disciplined or hardworking in the tackle. Obviously, I think Cunha gives you that attacking quality that Mount maybe doesn't in terms of the final third. And that's just a general statement. You know, obviously Mount did have the quality in the final third today as well, with a really nice goal actually, assisted by Mbeumo. But generally speaking, Cunha would be more of a threat in the final third than Mount, but Mount would provide a bit more solidity and stability in terms of keeping the ball and being more disciplined off the ball also. So yeah, I was really happy with Mount, with Sesko, and with Lemens. The rest of them were kind of just, the rest of them were just kind of okay. We haven't really learned anything from yesterday's game. There's nothing I can look at and go, okay, we've now learned this about this player. We haven't really. We played against Sunderland, who, in fairness to them, have started really well, and I've been impressed with them, but they were always a bit toothless in this game. Apart from, I think in the first half, before we scored, there was a moment where from the left-hand side, one of the Sunderland players cut it back in, and I think it was Traore, he just completely missed the ball. He was 6 yards out, it was on his good foot, Dalla was just sleeping, and Traore snuck in, but he completely missed the ball, and if he even made any contact, it probably would have been a goal. He was so close to the goal. But apart from that, there wasn't really much that Sunderland showed throughout the game at all. So it was always a comfortable game. It's nice to have a comfortable game, because we haven't had one this season. Even the games we've won, they've been a struggle. So the fact that we finally got a relaxing game of football at Old Trafford, which it might be our last one for a long time, so we should probably savour it. There's no real lessons we can kind of take from today and bring them forward. Like, we just bet Sunderland 2-0, that's about it. I won't be looking into it too much. It was a nice result. I was kind of expecting us to start really well and get an early goal, which we did, but then I thought we'd kind of fizzle out and Sunderland would grab an equaliser in the second half. That's kind of been the story of our season. But we managed to keep up our momentum quite well. And yeah, I'm happy with the 3 points. We've a 2-week break now before Liverpool. I'll probably post my Liverpool preview next week. The previews will be back. I haven't done a preview in a while just because I've just been so drained by this club. I don't want to make 2 videos a week. I'm kind of sticking to 1 video a week. But I will be making quite a big Liverpool preview, I'd say, because Liverpool lost to Chelsea yesterday as well. That's 3 losses in a row for them, so maybe we're playing them at a good time. So maybe there's hope, but we won't look too far ahead of ourselves right now. We'll enjoy the 3 points, but we won't look too deep into it. We won the game as we should have, as we should expect to win against teams like Sunderland comfortably. So it was nice, but we'll move on quite quickly. The only interesting thing I thought with the lineup today was the fact that we kind of have inverted fullbacks on both sides. I'm not sure if that's something we've done so far this season. So we had Ahmad on the right and Dalot on the left, which was different. Usually we'd have Dorgu on the left and Dalot on the right. We usually would have an overlapping fullback at least on one of the sides, but the fact we went with both inverted fullbacks was a change, I believe. And I didn't even clock to the fact that we were playing inverted fullbacks on both sides. It was something that was only brought to my attention by a good friend of mine, Sive. And I didn't even realize that it was a thing until I checked the lineup again at full time and saw that we had the 2 inverted fullbacks. So that was a bit of a change from Amram, I guess. But yeah, Amram lives to see another week as Manchester United manager, another 2 weeks at least, because we have the international break now, and again, Liverpool coming up after that break. That's going to be quite a hard game to predict. I'll tell you right now, I don't think we'll win. We might snatch a draw because we've been terrible this season, but Liverpool have been on a really bad run. So yeah, guys, that's kind of my general thoughts on the game. It's quite a short video, and there wasn't that much to look into. We bet Sunderland at home. Let's go. Like, it's not that big of a deal. People shouldn't look into it too much. These are the games that we should be winning 2-0 every week, every season. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy the international break. I think we need it. We've had a rough few games. So hopefully get some rest. Give Amram some time to prepare for the Liverpool game. Hopefully we can beat Liverpool at Anfield, which we haven't done since 2016. So that would be quite a monumental moment. But for this weekend, let's just enjoy the 3 points, regroup, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks very much for watching.